That good? That's good. Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm gonna start this off with saying that if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, slap that bell for more updates and more content weekly. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Go ahead and if you like this video at the end, hit that like button and share this video with your friends. As promised, this is going to be a discussion on budget building for the newer Mustangs 2015 and up. If you're an owner of one of them, then you know how awesome they are. The new 2018 Mustangs out there are, you know, making their stand, and especially the automatics. I can't even explain how fast those automatics are. I myself am a manual guy. I like manual. However, I've heard a lot of bad things about this transmission in the 2018s for the manuals. Take it for what it's worth, guys. You know, if you're gonna buy a new car, they're gonna have some faults, but you know, you gotta work with them. Anyways, so let's start this off, right? So the first thing I want to discuss, when you get your new Mustang, as always, people like to, I would say, they like to do the easy mods first, and that's typically, you know, exhaust system or, you know, slapping on a cold air intake, and those are fine. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is getting a cold air intake on your car. Open up the airway, allow the engine to breathe more oxygen, more power, and then you can deal with the breathing out afterwards. So for cold air intakes, on my car right now, what I went with is a K&N Stage 63 air charger cold air intake. Now, there are a lot more out there that you can choose. The K&N one that I went with doesn't require a tune. However, when you tune it, you get a lot more power out of it. You're looking anywhere between 12 horsepower and like 13 foot-pound of torque extra on top. So not much, but it is pretty good for what it's worth. Yeah, so the cold air intake is gonna run you anywhere between $250, $300. Now you can also go to Amazon. You can probably find it cheaper on Amazon. So for right now, let's say $250. So right now we're at $250. And guys, before we go any further into this discussion, I just want to say, when I say budget build, I'm actually talking about $5,000 or less. So yes, you are going to have to drop a pretty penny when it comes to modifying your new car and getting it to where you want it to be. Of course, you can go way more than that. You can go into the 10,000 plus range, you know, get superchargers and all that stuff, and that's perfectly fine. But for right now, I'm just going to discuss $5,000 or less for your S550 Mustang. Next, I want to talk about your exhaust system. Now, you have air coming in, more air coming in, so you want to have more air coming out. You know, just all around, the flow of oxygen is just better. So with your exhaust system, now these are going to be the more expensive portions of your budget, because if you're thinking of getting a well-known exhaust brand like Corsa, Borla, Cooks, you know, stuff like that, you're looking anywhere between $1,300 to $1,700 just for a catback alone. On top of that, with long tubes as well. Now Corsa does make long tubes as well, so you can also pair those with the actual Corsa exhaust system, you know, get the whole system together. But that's not how I did it. I did mine before I knew that Corsa was making their long tubes. So what I did, I got the Corsa Sports catback, which cost me about $1,500 for the sports catback. Now it sounds great, awesome sound. If you're in an HOA area and you're worried about making too much noise for your neighbors, you can always get the Sport. Now the Extreme is going to be, of course, louder, but if you're worried about making too much noise, the Sports catback is a good option to get. It's not too loud, but it's not quiet, so people will know that you're there, and when you're driving or when you're starting your car, it's quiet when you want it to be, and it will be loud if you want it to be loud. So that's why I like it. That's just my preference, guys. And so that's $250 plus your $1,500, and then you want to slap on some long tubes if you want to further open up the airway. I went with Stainless Works long tube headers, 1 7/8 inch primaries to a 3-inch collector tube. I have cats on mine, high flow cats, so that cost me about 1100. So you have 1500, 1100, 250. So right now we're looking at approximately 2700 right now. So yeah, I keep looking down because I took some notes so I can write down so I can just talk to you guys about this stuff. On to the next topic is going to be your intake manifold. If you guys want that better drivability but you still want power, the GT350 is also a very good option, and that's actually what I have in my car is the GT350 intake manifold, and that's going to cost you about $1,000 for that as well. And now it's going to cost a little extra because you have to get hardware with it. Late Model Restoration has their own hardware kit for the GT350 intake. It comes with everything you're going to need. Now there are a couple of things that you're not going to actually use but are in the kit, but don't worry, you don't need them. So don't worry if you have extra parts at the end, don't freak out. It's normal. I had extra parts at the end when I was done with mine. Yeah, so late model Restoration has a hardware kit, and then American Muscle I got the intake manifold from. So right now we are, let's see. So we got the cold air intake long tubes with the catbacks, and now we got the intake manifold. So we're probably looking around 3,700, probably 3,800 altogether for everything. Next I want to talk about your fuel system. Now that you have a whole bunch of air going into your engine and leaving your engine, now you're going to want to equalize that with the appropriate amount of fuel. Now your stock fuel injectors can handle the upgrade so far. However, if you wanted to do anything else tuning wise, for most people they like to do the E85 tune. You're not going to be able to do that with the stock fuel injectors because they cannot inject enough E85 fuel into the engine to actually keep it running. It'll run super lean if you try to do that. So my advice is just to get upgraded fuel injectors. The minimum pressure or the minimum poundage you're going to need in fuel injectors for E85 is going to be 47 pounds, and that's what I have in my car right now. 47 pound fuel injectors. They are a Ford Performance part, so it's gonna run you about 350 for all 8. Yeah, but they work awesome, guys. I haven't had any issues with them. I've tuned the car through Bama Performance, so yeah, I know a lot of people say a lot of stuff about Bama Performance and how they're not that good, but if you just stick with them, guys, trust me, do your data log, get the data into them, they will make your tune perfect, and they'll actually, your car will run healthy. So next thing on the list is going to be your tune, and the tune is probably the most important part on top of everything. Now, with all this stuff, you know, your car will run okay, but you're going to need to get a tune to make it run healthy and run at optimal performance. So what I went with on my car is I had a SCT X Rev X tuner, and then I went with just Bama Performance to be my dealings with tunes. Now if you're doing an 85 tune, you're going to need to data log. It's mandatory because when you put the first tune in, it's a generic E85 tune, just enough to get your car running. However, you're going to throw rich codes, you're going to throw some misfire codes. So as soon as you get the tune, you need to start data logging. When I first had my tune, I was throwing a whole bunch of codes, rich codes, and then misfiring codes. But I stuck with them, kept data logging, and now I had an E85 tune that's just healthy running, no problems, no issues at all. Let's stop. Well, let's actually just stop here. The tune portion, so everything up to the tune, right, is just shy of $5,000. So you're looking at $4,927.60, and that's an exact number, guys. That's like exact to what I got in my car originally. You can do it that way. That's one option, and that is not a bad option, guys. My car, it's got a pretty good kick in it. I don't know exactly how much horsepower it's got because I haven't taken it to a dyno yet, but it is going to be happening soon. So just stick with me. I will get you guys the number and exactly what my car is doing soon. $4,927 to have an S550 build that is full bolt-on, naturally aspirated, and can handle the streets like nobody else's business. All right, so the last thing I want to throw on top of there is going to be those lowering springs. Now you could settle with just the lowering springs themselves, which will run you about just under $300 for lowering springs themselves. I went with the iBox Sportline lowering kit, which is going to be the more aggressive drop of any kind of lowering spring. It's got a pretty big drop in the front and a pretty decent sized drop in the rear. You're looking at 1.5 in the front, probably about 1.3 inches in the rear. But overall, guys, it looks amazing. There's no wheel gap at all anymore. And if you want to run 20-inch rims, you can, because I have 20-inch rims on my car. But the tire size is gonna you're gonna be limited on tire size. Now, I think the max you can go with 20-inch rims is 315s. I have 305s on mine, but I have seen 315s been run with 20-inch rims and those lowering springs. But if you want to just go with the lowering springs, you can, and that's going to be just under $300. Or you can go with the whole suspension package that I have. So I have not only just the Sportline Plus lowering springs, but I also have the iBox upgraded sway bars for the front and rear. You have a 35mm front sway bar and a 25mm rear sway bar. The rear sway bar is solid, it's not hollow, and the front sway bar is much bigger, but it's also hollow. And it comes with everything you need. So it's an awesome buy, best bang for your buck kind of suspension kit you can get without spending too much money on getting all new coilovers. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. And if you go with the iBox Sports suspension, your total with everything that I just said is going to be about $5,347. Now, again, not too bad. It's really not. Stay tuned, guys, because I do have more to come. This week I am expecting some more packages to come into the mail, so I am excited for that, and the video will be coming soon on what I just ordered. So stay tuned for that, guys. Also, and again, a reminder, please, if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm always looking for some more support, guys. I'm trying to put more content out weekly, and just if you have any questions, again, please leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer it. I'm pretty good at answering comments because I'm always on my phone, and I'm always immediately I'll respond to anything you guys have. So as always, stay safe out there.